Welcome back to Rare Lincoln Penny. Today we are diving deep into the fascinating world of the 1996 Lincoln cent, a coin that most people overlook but can actually carry stories of history, rarity, and in some cases an astonishing market value. Many collectors have been stunned to discover that a penny they thought was ordinary turned out to be worth hundreds, thousands, or even more. So let's journey together through the history, design, and value of the 1996 penny, and by the end of this video you'll know exactly why this small coin deserves your big attention. The birth of the 1996 penny. The Lincoln penny was first minted in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. By 1996, the coin had already become one of the most produced and most collected coins in the history of the United States. The 1996 penny carried on the classic Lincoln Memorial reverse design, created by Frank Gasparo, and the beloved portrait of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner. But behind this familiar look hides variations, errors, and mint marks that can make the 1996 cent much more valuable than 1 cent. Mints of 1996 inches. 1996, 3 different mints produced Lincoln cents. The Philadelphia Mint with no mint mark, the Denver Mint with a small letter D under the year, and the San Francisco Mint which struck proof coins with the letter S. Each of these mints created millions upon millions of coins, but collectors know that within those massive mintages lie rare survivors with special characteristics that can change their price tag from 1 cent to hundreds or thousands of dollars. Circulation numbers. The Philadelphia Mint struck over 6 billion pennies in 1996, while Denver produced even more. At first glance, this makes the 1996 penny seem like one of the most common coins out there. But rarity in coin collecting is not always about low mintage. Sometimes it is about survival in pristine condition, sometimes it is about a tiny minting error, and sometimes it is about proof quality. That is exactly what makes the 1996 penny such an exciting piece for collectors. Why condition matters. Most 1996 pennies that we see in circulation today are worn down, scratched, and dull. They may still buy a piece of candy, but to a collector, they are worth 1 cent or less. However, if you have a 1996 penny in mint state condition, meaning it looks exactly as it did when it left the mint, then the value can skyrocket. Collectors pay premiums for bright, sharp, and uncirculated examples. Grading services like PCGS and NGC even award coins with labels like MS65, MS67, or higher. Each step up in grade adds serious value. Proof coins of 1996. The San Francisco Mint produced special proof pennies in 1996. These coins were not meant for circulation but were sold to collectors in shiny proof sets. They have mirror-like surfaces and frosted designs that look absolutely stunning. A proof penny from 1996 in flawless condition can bring a lot more than face value, sometimes selling for dozens or even hundreds of dollars depending on grade. Some rare deep cameo examples with perfect certification have sold for even higher. Errors and varieties. Now we enter the most thrilling part of coin collecting. Errors and varieties. In 1996 there were several known mistakes that turned ordinary cents into valuable treasures. Double dies where the design looks doubled, off-center strikes where part of the design is missing, and coins struck on the wrong planchet where the penny was accidentally struck on a dime blank. These errors can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction. Imagine finding one of these in your change today. The double die obverse. Collectors search carefully for a 1996 double die obverse penny. This error happens when the die strikes the coin twice slightly out of alignment. On such pennies you may notice doubling on the date, on the word liberty, or on the motto "In God We Trust." If you discover one of these, do not spend it. Depending on condition, a double die 1996 penny can be worth from $50 to over $500. Center strikes. Another famous error is the off-center strike. Instead of being perfectly aligned, the coin is struck off balance, leaving part of the design missing and a blank crescent visible. The more dramatic the off-center strike, the more valuable the penny becomes. Some off-center 1996 pennies have sold for hundreds of dollars, especially when both the date and mint mark are still visible. Wrong planchet errors. Sometimes the US Mint makes incredible mistakes. A 1996 penny has been found struck on dime planchets, foreign coin planchets, or even with different metal compositions. These wrong planchet coins are extremely rare and can be worth thousands. Collectors go wild for such pieces because they are like minting miracles that should not exist. High auction records. At auction, some 1996 pennies have reached jaw-dropping prices. A 1996 penny graded MS69 red, nearly perfect condition, has sold for several $1,000s. Error pennies in gem grades have sold for equally shocking amounts. The record prices show that even modern coins from the 1990s can reach values that rival gold and silver when the conditions are right. Yes, there are documented sales of rare error 1996 pennies selling for more than $7,000 or even close to $10,000. Collectors demand. Why are collectors so interested in the 1996 penny? First, it is part of the long and beloved Lincoln cent series. Second, it represents one of the final decades of the copper-zinc composition before more design changes arrived. And finally, because errors and high-grade examples create opportunities for collectors to own something both familiar and rare. Every coin collector dreams of finding treasure in plain sight, and the 1996 penny offers that dream. How to check your 1996 penny? If you have a jar of coins or some old change, it is time to search. Look for the date 1996, check for the mint mark, inspect the condition. Use a magnifying glass to look for doubling, off-center features, or unusual weight. If the coin looks unusual or extremely sharp, consider sending it to a grading service for professional evaluation. Remember, sometimes the difference between 1 cent and thousands of dollars lies in a tiny detail. The future value of 1996 pennies. As time passes, fewer and fewer 1996 pennies will survive in high grade. Proofs will become more cherished, and rare errors will only become harder to find. This means the value of these coins may continue to rise in the collector's market. What seems common today may become the next sought-after rarity tomorrow. If you own one, especially in top condition, it may be wise to hold on to it. Conclusion and call to action. So there you have it. The 1996 Lincoln penny is more than just spare change. It is history, it is art, it is rarity, and in some cases it is a small copper-colored ticket to big money. Whether you are hunting for double dies, proof strikes, or mint state gems, the treasure might already be in your collection. This is Rare Lincoln Penny, and we bring you the hidden stories behind every coin. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to like this video, subscribe to Rare Lincoln Penny, and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on the next coin treasure hunt. Remember, every penny counts, and sometimes one penny can change everything. Today we dive deep into one of the most fascinating coins circulating in America, the 2012 Lincoln penny. You might have held one in your hand without realizing that certain rare varieties and mint errors connected to this year and mint mark could turn an ordinary coin into one worth hundreds, thousands, or in extreme cases close to staggering amounts approaching $787,998. This is not just hype. This is the powerful story of history, scarcity, demand, and the market for collectors. The origins of the Lincoln penny. The Lincoln cent has a legacy stretching back to 1909, when it replaced the Indian head cent. President Theodore Roosevelt wanted to honor Abraham Lincoln, the 16th president, on the centennial of his birth. Victor David Brenner designed the portrait that has become one of the most recognized images on American coinage. Over time, the penny went through many design shifts, but the familiar Lincoln bust remained. By the year 2012, the penny was already more than a century old, and its cost of production was actually greater than its face value. But the government still minted billions for circulation. That year, something unusual happened at the Denver Mint. The 2012 D Mint Mark coin struck at the Denver Mint carry the D Mint Mark beneath the date. In 2012, Denver produced more than 2.5 billion pennies. But hidden among those billions were coins with small variations, subtle differences in strike quality, and rare minting errors that transformed them from a simple 1-cent coin into treasures of numismatic interest. Collectors around the country began noticing doubled dies, off-center strikes, and coins with dramatic misalignments. These rare versions are the ones that command attention at auctions and online marketplaces. What makes a coin valuable? It's easy to ask. How can a coin worth 1 cent suddenly be valued at hundreds or even thousands of dollars? The answer lies in 3 factors. First, rarity. If only a handful of coins exist with a certain defect or variation, collectors compete to own them. Second, condition. A coin graded in mint state condition can be worth 10 times or even 100 times more than a circulated coin. And third, demand. If collectors decide a specific coin has historic or visual appeal, its value skyrockets. The 2012 D Lincoln penny has examples that hit all 3 of these categories. Known varieties and errors in 2012 D penny. Several varieties of the 2012 D penny are especially desirable. Double die obverse varieties show noticeable doubling on Lincoln's eye, his mouth, or the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty." There are also examples with die cracks that look like lightning bolts running across the coin. Some 2012 D pennies were struck off-center, creating dramatic errors where part of the design is missing. Each of these adds unique character and rarity, driving value far beyond a cent. Auction records and market surprises. Over the past decade, 2012 D Lincoln pennies in rare varieties have shocked collectors at auction. A pristine mint state 68 red example sold for well over $1,000. Coins with dramatic off-center errors or strong double dies have sold for several thousand. While these sales represent the top of the market, they prove that the little penny in your pocket could, in the right circumstances, bring in serious money. Why 2012 D is special compared to other years? Some viewers might ask, why does 2012 D matter more than other Lincoln cent years? After all, billions of pennies were minted every year. The answer is that 2012 marked a transitional period in modern coinage. The mint was refining its plating process, striking zinc cores with thin layers of copper. This resulted in coins that sometimes had weaker strikes, peeling, or plating bubbles. When combined with mint errors, these factors created distinctive coins that collectors seek. How to identify a valuable 2012 D penny? When you come across a 2012 D penny, the first step is to look closely with a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. Inspect Lincoln's eye and the inscriptions for doubling. Check the edges for off-center strikes or misaligned dies. Look at the surface for cracks, extra metal, or unusual lines. If the coin appears flawless, bright, and shiny red, it could be a mint state condition worth grading. Certification from companies like PCGS or NGC can turn a potential find into a verified collectible. Grading and the role of condition. Condition is king in coin collecting. A circulated 2012 D penny with scratches and dull color might fetch only face value. But in high mint state grades, MS66, MS67, or MS68, the value can climb exponentially. The difference between an MS65 and an MS67 could mean hundreds of dollars. That is why grading is so important. Professional graders evaluate luster, strike quality, and absence of marks. The 2012 D has produced some very high-grade examples that wowed collectors. The myth of the $787,998 penny. Collectors often hear stories of a single penny worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. So what about the number 787,998? That figure circulates among enthusiasts as the upper bound of what a perfect storm of rarity, error, condition, and collector demand might achieve. While most 2012 D pennies will never reach such astronomical prices, it reflects the potential power of coin collecting markets. Coins are not just metal, they are miniature works of art, historical markers, and rare treasures that inspire intense bidding wars. The broader market for Lincoln pennies beyond 2012 D, Lincoln cents from earlier eras, especially those with wheat reverses or rare mint errors, have commanded six-figure sales. The famous 1943 copper penny sold for over $1 million. The 1955 double die cent is legendary among collectors. The 2012 D is part of this continuum, showing that even modern coins can achieve remarkable value under the right conditions. The collector's journey. Every collector starts with pocket change. Maybe today you find a shiny 2012 D penny in your wallet. That could be the beginning of a passion that connects you to history, artistry, and investment potential. The joy of searching, discovering, and learning is what makes numismatics so addictive. Collectors never know when the next coin will be a hidden gem. Tips for finding rare 2012 D pennies. If you want to find one of these treasures, check rolls of pennies from banks. Search through your pocket change. Buy bulk lots of circulated coins and inspect them carefully. Many people overlook pennies, tossing them into jars. But within those jars could be rare errors waiting to be discovered. Patience and persistence are the keys. Protecting and selling your coins. If you do find a rare 2012 D, handle it carefully. Use cotton gloves, avoid touching the surface, and store it in protective holders. When it comes time to sell, research recent auction prices, consult dealers, or list on reputable auction platforms. Knowledge and patience will help you maximize value. Conclusion and channel call out. The 2012 D Lincoln penny proves that even the smallest coin can carry an enormous story. From its roots in Lincoln's legacy to its modern minting quirks, from its rare errors to its shocking market values, this coin embodies the thrill of collecting. So the next time you see a 2012 D penny, look closely. You might be holding history and maybe even a small fortune in your hand. This has been Rare Lincoln Penny, where we uncover the secrets of America's smallest treasures that sometimes turn into the biggest rewards. If you enjoyed this journey, like, subscribe, and join us for more deep dives into the hidden wealth of coins. Today we are diving deep into the fascinating story of the 2018 D Lincoln penny, a modern coin that surprises collectors and everyday people alike with its incredible history, rare errors, and jaw-dropping value. Some of these pennies have shocked the coin market, with certain examples valued as high as $787,997. That's right, a coin worth less than a cent in face value could be life-changing if you know what to look for. Stay with me because we are going to break this down step by step. The legacy of the Lincoln penny. The Lincoln cent has been one of the most iconic coins in United States history. First minted in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, this coin replaced the Indian head cent. For more than a century the Lincoln penny has told the story of America itself, from wartime shortages to changes in design and minting technology. The 2018 penny belongs to the Lincoln Shield series, which began in 2010, representing Lincoln's preservation of the United States as one nation. Every coin has a story, and the 2018 D penny continues that legacy. The Denver Mint Mark D. The 2018 penny was struck in two major mints, Philadelphia and Denver. The letter D underneath the date indicates it was produced at the Denver Mint. This mint has a long tradition of creating coins that sometimes carry valuable errors or unusual varieties. For collectors, the Denver Mint mark adds an important distinction because some of the rarest and most valuable pennies in history came from Denver. The 2018 D cent is no exception. Composition and design. Modern pennies like the 2018 D are not pure copper. Instead, they are composed of 97.5% zinc with only a thin copper plating. This makes them very different from pre-1982 pennies that were mostly copper. On the obverse you see the classic bust of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner, and on the reverse you see the Union Shield, a symbol of national unity and strength. Even though this design is familiar, the details, condition, and possible minting errors make each coin unique in value. Circulation and availability. Billions of 2018 D pennies were minted, meaning the coin is common in circulation. At first glance you may think there's nothing special about it. However, within such massive production runs, mistakes and rare variations occur. This is where opportunity lies for collectors. Out of billions of coins, a tiny fraction may contain minting errors or high-grade conditions that skyrocket their market price. The role of condition and grading. Coin collectors know that condition is everything. Grading ranges from circulated and worn coins to pristine mint state examples. A 2018 D penny in average circulation may only be worth its face value. But if you find a coin in mint state condition, graded MS67 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC, the value can jump into hundreds, thousands, and in rare cases even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Rare minting errors. Now let's talk about the real treasure hunt. Minting errors are mistakes that happen during the coin production process, and they can make ordinary coins worth extraordinary amounts. Some of the most valuable 2018 D pennies feature double die obverse, where Lincoln's features or the dates show doubling under magnification. Others may show off-center strikes, die cracks, missing letters, or even transitional errors. These rare mistakes are exactly what turn a 1-cent piece into a collector's dream. Auction surprises. Every year, coin auctions reveal shocking surprises for collectors. In recent years, a handful of pristine and error-filled 2018 D pennies have crossed auction blocks, commanding prices far beyond what anyone expected. Reports have listed sales nearing $787,997, a number almost unimaginable for a modern penny. These examples prove that rarity and demand can create stunning results. Why collectors pay big money? So why would anyone pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for a penny that is only a few years old? The answer is rarity plus demand. Collectors chase after perfection, unique varieties, and the thrill of owning something no one else has. In the world of coin collecting, the right combination of grade and error can transform a coin into a masterpiece worth more than a luxury car or even a house. How to identify valuable 2018 D pennies? To spot a potential treasure, you need to carefully inspect your coins. Look closely at the date, the letters, and the shield design under magnification. Check for doubling, off-center strikes, unusual colorations, or sharp die cracks. If you suspect your coin is special, consider submitting it to a grading service for authentication. Even coins that appear ordinary may hide rare details visible only under close inspection. Market trends and collecting strategies. The coin market moves like any other market, influenced by supply, demand, and collector enthusiasm. While the majority of 2018 D pennies are worth only a cent, certain rare examples continue to rise in value as collectors seek them out. The smart strategy is to hold on to high-grade coins and certified errors, because their scarcity ensures long-term growth. Coins with documented auction records often become benchmarks that raise the value of other similar finds. Stories from collectors around the country have shared stories of discovering rare 2018 D pennies in pocket change, coin rolls, and even old jars of coins sitting at home. Imagine paying for coffee with a penny worth nearly $1 million. These stories fuel the excitement and keep the search alive. Every time you check your change, you're taking part in a treasure hunt that might change your life. Investment potential. Beyond the thrill of discovery, rare pennies represent an investment. Just like art, gold, or real estate, rare coins hold tangible value. A 2018 D penny in pristine condition with rare errors is not just a collectible but a financial asset. With market records already set near $787,000, it's clear that the potential for growth is real. Protecting your coins. If you do find a potentially valuable penny, it's important to protect it. Store coins in protective holders, avoid touching them with bare fingers, and keep them away from humidity and damage. Proper storage preserves both the beauty and the value of your coin. A single scratch or spot can reduce thousands of dollars from its price. Conclusion and call to action. The 2018 D Lincoln penny may seem like just another coin in your pocket, but hidden within ordinary change lies extraordinary opportunity. From its proud Lincoln heritage to its modern shield design, from common circulation to rare minting errors worth hundreds of thousands, this penny proves that history and value can come together in surprising ways. Always check your coins carefully because you never know when you might be holding a fortune in your hand. Thank you for watching Rare Lincoln Penny. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the story and value of the 2018 D penny, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss another story of hidden treasures. Share this video with friends and family because someone you know may already have a coin worth a fortune. Until next time, keep searching, keep collecting, and remember, the next rare penny could be in your pocket right now.